What advice would you give for people who might want to make the type of switch that you did, who, are currently doing kind of more networking things and want to get into security now? Are there, or even for people who don't have a huge tech background but are interested in getting cybersecurity? Do you have any sort of tips or advice for sort of fast tracking that sort of thing?
Yeah, there are a lot of resources out there, and I would say that if you really want to get into what I've described as real penetration testing, and that's manually testing infrastructure without automated tools, I would say that there's so for example, offensive security. They have some great training. I would say that's probably as close to real penetration testing as that you'll get in a training environment. Looking at things like offensive security, looking at resources around red teaming and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Metasploit, I think, is a very important tool. And there are others, Cobalt Strike and things like that. But, I would say that, they're becoming very familiar with Kali Linux and Metasploit and how those tools are used inside a network. There's one of the things that I've been most impressed with a lot of my teammates is their ability finding SQL injection vulnerabilities and authentication bypass vulnerabilities in websites. So there's a popular training platform in the pen test world called Damn Vulnerable Web App.
Right.
And so it's a server that you can turn up, and it's riddled with vulnerabilities. And you can really give it a go and practice at these types of things. So, and I didn't really realize it in the beginning, but I had a lot of the guys that I work with tell me, hey, you're really lucky, because we were out at DEF CON one year and they said, a lot of the people here have never even really done a real penetration test. They've just practiced.
Right.
And so, and I guess I took for granted a bit that, what I was able to do was jump right in on real live and start testing.
You learned right on the ground there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I would say that was fairly unique in my situation. But, I think some of the most important, things to consider if you want to make that move is, where are you going to make that move to? I mean, what is your plan? Do you have any companies or organizations in your sites that you would like to be affiliated with or apply to? And really do your homework around, how they operate, what their deliverables look like, what the expectations are. And then, really, try to take that direction and focus on, look at their job postings, see what their skills are required in those job postings, and then start doing some research on good resources around that.
Okay.
I mean, I would say that the certified ethical hacking certification is, while it might be good on a resume, and a lot of companies require it just for the credentials, right? Credibility, which that is one thing that it could help with. But, I would say not to focus on that as much from a learning standpoint. I mean, it certainly covers some of the basics.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally haven't worked with a CEH since I've been in the business. So, it's one of those things to where there's a lot of training out there that I think is misleading. So for me, if I were doing this again and I didn't have the opportunity that I had with HORNE Cyber, I certainly would have invested time in determining, some companies that I was interested in working for, looking at what they were hiring for, the skill sets, things like that. And then, really doing some research and look at reputable sources for information around those skill sets.
New episodes of CyberWork are available every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. And don't forget to claim your free month of Infosec skills. Sign up using the code CYBERWORK and you'll get unlimited access to hundreds of courses, hands-on labs, certification practice exams, skills assessments, and more. Use code CYBERWORK for Infosec skills.